viewers, you are welcome back to Understanding Menopause. And today we are going to be talking about menopause in men, the signs, the symptoms. We are doing men today because it just recently was Father's Day, and of course because this month is still Men's Mental Health Month, and we are going to be talking about the connection between menopause and men's mental health. And of course, you know, I don't do this alone. We have our guest in the house, Fam Mosumola. Oh my God, Dosumo. How did he leave my ears? How did I go out? Fam Dosumo. I'm sure you already know her from the last episode. You're welcome again on the show, ma'am.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so let's get right into it. I hope you all are ready. So where do we start from?
Let's start first by wishing them Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Without them,
there's
no us.
True.
But we would like to appreciate every man out there. On behalf of all the women, we say Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Take your flowers. Okay. So where do we start from? What are the okay, let's start by knowing the things that predisposes men to menopause.
Okay, let me start by saying that I'm sure some men are out there and they are sitting with their cane and they say, okay, let us hear you, Well, I'm glad to tell you that it's not every man that comes down with andropause. And the andropause is it's male menopause.
Yes.
It's not every man that comes down. 30% out of most men come down with menopause. And statistics have shown that men from late 40s and early 50s are more predisposed to andropause. And only 30% of these ages of men come down with andropause. And we said this last week, that 1%, men lose 1% of their testosterone from the age of 30-year-old.
Wow.
But you see, this 1% annually is still within the allowed limit. And that is why most men do not come down with andropause. And what are the factors that will predispose a man? Or let me say it again. What are the factors that predisposes men to andropause? One, stress. Yes. You see, sometimes I look at these men. They work from morning till night and they don't rest.
Yes.
Especially those men that drive Molue, those days we call them Molue.
Yes.
Those buses, those yellow buses. And then I just find it very difficult to comprehend those things. Stress. And you hear some people will say, I only sleep for 2-3 hours.
Yes.
And they're very comfortable with that. But what you don't know is this: stress destroys you. And it's a gradual thing. Stress has been known to destroy the testosterone. Last week, we made us to understand that the hormones that are responsible for aging in women is called estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone in women. But majorly estrogen. But for men, we're talking about testosterone. Stress, if you push yourself beyond limits, stress will destroy your testosterone. So if you have not been observing rest, it is time you start observing rest. Then anxiety, it's another factor that destroys the testosterone. Then unhealthy lifestyle. What do we mean by unhealthy lifestyle? When you do not eat balanced diet. Somebody, you probably ask
how many people eat balanced diet? in Nigeria.
But sincerely, it's very
What
possible.
exactly is balanced diet, Seb?
Balanced diet, you have protein, you have carbohydrates, you have fruits and vegetables, you have oils at certain quantities. It's very possible. You see, those amalams have made it very easy for us. Instead of you buying a whole lump of watermelon, you see they have cut it. So you can take watermelon, one piece of watermelon every day.
Every day, true.
You can take mango. You can take vegetables. If you go to Mama Puts, you can eat one wrap of eba, very small, and take plenty vegetables. Yes.
Some people will take big wraps. You can eat 4 big wraps.
One day I was taking a walk and I saw the people at the roadside eating, and I saw one person 4-5 wraps of that eba, of fufu, and very tiny vegetable, and they are just putting it, and they are not eating to get satisfied. They are just eating to get their stomach filled up so that they can get enough energy to move. No, that's not why we eat. That's another topic entirely. You just take one wrap, take a lot of vegetables, 1,000 or 5, I don't know how much they buy those things. Maybe it's 500 naira or 200 naira. Take that. That is enough for you. And when your body is telling you to rest, please rest. And because I'm a community pharmacist, I realize that most youth of nowadays, they go on weed.
Yes.
Even women, they take weed. Alcohol helps to destroy. Too much alcohol or caffeine. Those are the factors that predisposes you to andropause. Early. You might not come down with this at your initial stage. Imagine someone at 25 does not have a good lifestyle. At 25, you drink, you shag, you take weed, you drive yourself, you don't have enough sleep. You'll just be shocked that by the age of 42, 43, you have reduced your testosterone level. That kind of person will come down to andropause. And you see another man at 22, 23, start going to the gym, you eat healthy, you sleep well, you don't work yourself too much. That kind of man, by the time that man is 80, that man still has testosterone level like that of a 40-year-old man. So you can be one of those men, 70% of men that do not go through andropause.
Wow. But that's like cheating. Why only 30% of men? And then women, there's no woman that would escape.
That's why I refer to men having it as an easy ride.
It's an easy ride.
It's an easy ride for them.
Yes. You mentioned anxiety in men. How does that predispose them to andropause? How does that work?
Okay, mood changes, anxiety and depression. They are linked to the level of testosterone. One of the signs and symptoms of andropause is mood changes. And it has been observed that testosterone is an hormone that is responsible for this in men.
Wow.
So as you age and your body changes, if your testosterone starts coming down, it starts affecting your mood. And then obviously you find it at a stage, you find it difficult to sleep. You become very irritable.
Exactly. Cranky.
And this can lead you into being depressed over time. If you're out there, you find it difficult to sleep 2 to 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, please, you need to seek for help. You need attention. Please seek out for help.
Okay, so now that we have talked about the things that can predispose men to andropause, what are the signs exactly? The signs and symptoms.
The signs and symptoms are very similar to those of women. I have seen men come down with hot flashes.
Wow.
Yes, I have seen men come down with hot flashes. When a man is going through hot flashes, he will not identify, he will find it very difficult to identify that this is hot flashes because he does not believe in andropause.
True.
So he probably tells himself, I'm working too hard.
Yeah.
Or he says the AC is not working. Or he says that my bank account is down. But as we said earlier on, just 30% of men will come down with some of these signs and symptoms. The most common sign and symptom that men observe is low libido or decrease in sexual drive. And if this is not well talked about, especially for couples, it can cause a drift. It can affect the home. Especially every time the man says, I'm not up to it. I'm not
in the mood.
I'm not in the mood. And the wife probably starts thinking, why are you not in the mood?
Yeah,
is your secretary helping you out?
You're doing it somewhere else.
You're doing it somewhere else.
But I thought this is something that is more common with the women. It's women that are like, I'm not in the mood or have low sex drive and all. So it does happen to men as well.
It does happen to men, and that's one of the signs and symptoms of andropause. So if you're out there, you're in your late 40s or early 50s, and you just don't feel like in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you need help.
2 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Yes,
hey, that's a long time.
You need help. You need to seek the attention of your doctor. And then another sign and symptoms is depression. We've spoken about that. Anxiety. You get tired. Fatigue. You just don't feel. You just get tired. Today you're not going to work. Tomorrow you are just not up to it. Before you work for 2-3 hours, you're just tired. And then we have development of reduced body mass. Okay. Yeah, and then you have men getting big around their tummy. And those are the common signs. And symptoms.
There was a time that the big tummy was seen as a sign of good life.
Oh, not anymore.
Sign of enjoyment. So now we know that it's a symptom of andropause. And because it's important, it's good that we are talking about this now, because like we said, not a lot of men believe in andropause. Like, what's that? So when they are even having these symptoms, they'll be like, I've been working too hard, or this, that. They do not attribute it to andropause at all. So I think it's good that we are talking about it now.
Yeah. Okay. Then another one is difficulty with erection. You might have the drive, but you find it very difficult.
It's just not.
It might not just come up. If it comes up, maybe in the next 1 minute, it's down again. It comes up, and that alone is very, very depressing.
Yes, it is. It is. This is quite enlightening, because I've heard of some cases like this, and some of these men actually accuse their partners for this. They'll be like, maybe you are not stimulating me enough, or maybe you caused this, or a distraction and all that. Men don't really like to feel like something is wrong with them, especially when it has to do with their sexual organs or their libido and all that, because they always feel like they have to be in tip-top shape, like they are on top, they are the men and all that. So when there's something wrong, they are quick to blame the woman. Yes, that it's the woman, maybe she's not exciting me enough, or maybe she's distracted. So it is important that we know that
this program is actually for you.
Yes, so it's a sign and symptom of andropause.
Then another one is reduced bone density. reduced bone density. Your bone starts becoming thinning. And then this can also contribute to you getting very tired. Then you find it very difficult. You find it really difficult to climb the stairs. When you climb the stairs, you get tired. And then men or women going through reduced bone density are more prone to fractures. You can easily fall down. So you need to learn to watch your steps. And then I will encourage every man, if you're more than 40-year-old, it is time for you to do your regular checkup.
Yes, that's
and important. Then we also have prostate.
Yes.
Prostate,
yes.
Yes, check your prostate. Once you're more than 40-year-old. Once, at least, some people will say twice or thrice, but at least once a year.
Once a year.
Check your prostate. Check your thyroid. Check on some other functions.
Interesting. Okay, so we are saying that there's a connection between mental health and andropause. How does that work?
There's a relationship. What links them together is the testosterone.
Wow.
Once that testosterone level starts to reduce, the testosterone is also linked to the serotonin level. That's the feel-good hormones.
Yeah.
Once the testosterone is high, you're okay, you're able to mingle around yourself, your feel-good hormones is stable. But once the testosterone level starts to drop, it starts affecting the feel-good hormone. And once that starts to come down, your mood starts to change, anxiety, depression. Once you notice this, please go and see your doctor.
So you don't attribute it to work, because
work. That's what we talked about, stress.
You know. But some people will say, oh, it's because I've been working. Oh, I need to, instead of, just going to see the doctor or thinking that, oh, it may be andropause or something. I just need to take a rest, I just need to take a rest and everything will be fine. So it is important that we know that there's a connection between andropause and mental health. And everything boils down to testosterone.
Yeah, testosterone hormone.
Yes,
testosterone hormone.
So this, I'm curious. This 70% of men who don't come down with this, you mean so they don't have any of these issues at all?
They age, but you see, let me give you an example. Let's compare two men from their 25. One at 25 is very active, goes to the gym, carries weights, eats right, does not drink, does not smoke. I'm sure there's a man there carrying cane that wants to knock it on my head.
Yes.
And there's another man. They will say the other man does not the first man does not enjoy life. Very monotonous kind of lifestyle. But the other one at 22 drinks, smokes, carry women, jump from here to there, works from morning till night, and does not rest. Compare these two men after let's say 50 years.
Wow. That's been a long time.
You will see the difference in their testosterone levels. Exercise has been found to help in stability of the testosterone.
Wow.
Alcohol has also been found to reduce testosterone level. So it's your choice how well you want to live.
Wow.
Now that you know that there's a similarity between stress, alcohol, and testosterone, it's your choice. Some people will say, "Shebi is one day."
Exactly. And does it mean that they won't even take the alcohol at all, or you minimize, you just reduce quantity, or don't even take at all?
It depends on individuals. It depends on. I was speaking to a young man, and the guy told me, I said, "Oh, do you take alcohol?" And the person says, "Oh, it's so very, very bitter. I wonder what men enjoys on it." It's an individualistic thing. And then some people, well, they are of the opinion that red wine is very good for the heart. So, comes out, you should be able to know or tell yourself, this is what is good for me.
And this is what works.
And this is what works. And this is what I need to avoid.
Okay, so is there any other sign or symptom, or how can these men who are in this 30%, how can they manage or even help to delay it or soften it or somehow
the first thing I will say is exercise.
Okay.
At least you must engage in 30 minutes to 1 hour walk.
Okay.
WALK. Walk daily. Count your steps every day. Count your steps. And then sleep. Apart from work, there's some other exercises that you can engage in. You can go to the gym. You can learn to carry weight. It helps to firm your body mass. It helps to stabilize the testosterone. You can swim. You can play badminton, yoga. There's so many things that you can do as a man. And it's good to let you know now that all this exercise contribute positively to the stability and management of your testosterone. Then secondly, sleep. Sleep. It is the most important thing everybody must observe. No matter how hard you work, make sure that you sleep at least 8 hours in a day. It's very possible. And then if you're finding it very difficult to sleep, the first thing you need to know is when you're ready to sleep, make sure that you put off the light in your room. Take all your phones, your television, put it off, and make sure that your room is cool enough. And then that should encourage you to sleep. Exercise itself helps to contribute positively to sleep.
Okay.
If you exercise in the morning, if you're finding it very difficult to sleep, try and exercise in the morning or even in the evening before 6 o'clock. Before 6. Don't exercise after 6.
Oh, really?
Don't exercise after 6.
Wow.
Exercise before 6. Because some people have been found that exercise makes them to become anxious. So you've got to find out what works for you.
Wow.
Someone like me, when I exercise, immediately after the exercise, 30 minutes after, I'm already dizzy. I want to sleep. So you have to find out what's right for you. I've seen men that even exercise during the day and at night, they find it very difficult to sleep. Okay, and then apart from exercise, sleep, let's talk about, we've spoken about balanced diet. You must eat right. Then intermittent fasting. We have to talk about intermittent fasting one of these days. You probably ask me, what is intermittent fasting? You try not to eat after 6 or 7, and then the following day, you go through fasting in the morning, and then you now eat around 11, 12. And then your eating window is between 12 and 6. After 6, you don't eat again.
Okay. Try
and engage in intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has been found to be very, very efficacy. Intermittent fasting has been found to be very, very efficacious, especially for people that are fat. It helps to break down, instead of, apart from breaking down sugar, when it gets to the fasting period, it starts to break down the fat.
So that means you eat every day between 12 to 6.
Yes.
Every day, between 12 to 6.
Yes. It depends on whether it's 6 hours intermittent fasting or 12 hours
12
intermittent
hours.
fasting. But we will discuss it during the show. And then another thing you need to engage in is drinking water.
That's a big one.
A minimum of 3 liters of water daily.
How
Some
now?
people don't drink water at all. They feed on fizzy drinks, and that kills the system. So make it a point of, how do I put it now?
A priority.
Make it a priority to take water every day, at least 3 liters of water.
Wow. How does one do that?
And try to reduce your alcohol and your cigar intake.
And sugar.
And sugar. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very possible for you not to go through andropause at an
Andropause.
early age.
If you follow this
Yes, advice.
advice. Okay, so that's all we have for you today. Don't forget to watch out for next week's episode. We are going to be talking about a lot more things, and then of course we are going to be talking about the women, since we decided to make this for the men today. And share this video to all the men, especially those men who don't believe in andropause. Share this video to them so that they can learn and gain knowledge. And click that like button and also subscribe so you get notifications when we come out with the new episodes and other new videos. Like, share. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us.
So see you next week, same time.
See you.